like now was the right time to return with a solo album because it had been 10 years since I put my last solo album out. The songs that I have for Sea Glass, they're basically an accumulation of songs and experiences and stories that I've gone through over the last 10 years. So it's not like I just went into the studio and instantly did all of these songs and put it out. These are songs that have been that I've been working on for a long time and that I've had kept in my little treasure chest box.
Now Angel, she's a beauty. Man, that girl glows like the sun. The first time he laid eyes on her, he knew she was the one. And I wonder, could we start over? I wonder, should we even try? And if dragons come along, she would slay every last one. And
it's just nice to be able to have some new music to share with the fans and share my stories and through my songs and allow them to have this. It's not a concept album. It's really just one of those things where it's a moment in time. I feel like a lot of our albums, whether it's through my solo stuff or my band stuff, it's always that kind of scrapbook. So when you're going back and enjoying the songs, I get to see where I was at that particular moment in time and how I was synthesizing the feelings and the emotions through stories and through story songs as they happened to me right in that moment. At those particular moments, those songs were so fresh and so raw. And the way that I write when I'm writing my solo songs is music and lyrics all come at one time, like one constant, consistent flow. And then I take to the piano, and then I basically go into the studio after that. So each one of those, the process of that is always brought on by a catalyst that happens at that moment in time of my life. I feel like I get these wonderful gems, these wonderful treasures in songs that wound up being memories of those moments. And then I put them out, and hopefully people will be able to relate to them and enjoy them as much as I did when I was crafting them. I used to collect sea glass throughout different places in the world whenever I would travel, and I wasn't obsessively collecting it. I would just find something beautifully shining, amongst the beige colors of sand. And if you saw a brilliant blue or a brilliant green or an amber and you could hold it up to the sun and it was glowing, it just felt like these treasures. The ocean in itself to me is calming and peaceful, and I'm an island girl living on Long Island, so it's, the ocean is in my veins and my blood, and I always went to the ocean or the sea or some body of water to heal me, or to, if I needed to be creative, I would tap into a bigger source. Always been fascinated. Even the smell, the scent of the ocean just does something to me, grounds me in a way that no other part of nature can. During COVID, when obviously the whole world shut down and we were all in the same place, and a lot of us were quarantined or afraid to leave the house or told we couldn't leave the house, and very solitary. We couldn't be amongst other people. All the things we lived through that we took for granted, going out to a restaurant, going to a concert, and all these, being around other people that brought us joy. We couldn't even hug people at that point. And I know for us now, it feels like a distant memory, maybe a bad dream. And it's amazing to me that it wasn't just one particular region. The whole world went through this at the same time. So we can all deeply resonate with what we all went through. And that's very rare, to go through something like that. So we all are connected in that way. What I did find when we went through COVID was that it's important to unplug and get back to nature and feel the wind through your hair, or take your shoes off and feel the grass, or put your hands on a tree or watch a shooting star. So to see all of these people singularly or with their dog going through the woods, going on nature walks and rediscovering nature, and therefore rediscovering themselves, that's what started my walks again on the beach. And I'm very lucky to have a beach not far from my home. So I would take my children, we would walk down the beach, and we noticed people were looking for things. They weren't just, there were no shells to speak of, but they were finding these little pieces of what kind of looked like gemstones. So it wound up being a scavenger hunt. So we looked forward to doing that every day. We would get fresh air, we would go out, and we would find sea glass. But it was on one of those long walks on the beach doing our treasure hunting for sea glass that I really realized what sea glass is. And it's not just a piece of glass, and it's not just a piece of garbage that somebody has thrown away, although some people can look at it like that. It's really a parallel. I found it being so much deeper. It wound up being a parallel for humanity and how all of us go through breaking down. We get discarded, we get tossed and turned and shattered and scattered throughout life. You get returned as something new, something different, something that someone might see those flaws and look at it as treasure and look at it as something beautiful. And so the idea of sea glass was that, yeah, these pieces, these sharp shards of glass that are just completely thrown away and discarded wind up being taken by the ocean, tumbled, softened. Our edges get softened as well throughout time, and returned to the land, to this beige, just blanket of sand that where these treasures pop up if you look hard enough, if you kind of really go out and search for it. They're out there, and so it wound up just becoming like this perfect catalyst for a song.